The train's brakes screeched like a dying animal, metal on metal tearing through the humid Illinois twilight. But Kevin didn't flinch. He was already numb, the kind of numb that comes when your whole world unravels in a single, cruel punchline. "It's just a joke, son," his father had barked through the rolled-down window of their rusted Ford pickup, his mother's eyes averted like she was staring down a ghost, as they peeled out of the Amtrak station lot in Peoria, leaving him with nothing but a duffel bag and the echo of his own heartbeat. And in that frozen instant, as the taillights swallowed the horizon, Kevin realized the joke wasn't on him. It was him, the punchline they'd been scripting since he was a kid, too soft-spoken to throw a football, too teary-eyed over indie films to crack open a beer with the boys. He'd always known he wasn't the son they wanted. Growing up in that clapboard house on the edge of cornfields, where Sundays meant church and football and real men don't cry, Kevin had learned early to hide the parts of himself that didn't fit. The way his gaze lingered a beat too long on the quarterback's sweat-glistened neck during high school practices. The sketches he filled notebooks with, ethereal boys with windswept hair and eyes like fractured skylines, instead of hunting diagrams or engine schematics. Coming out at 18 had been less a declaration and more a quiet detonation. "I'm gay, Dad." It's not a phase. His father's face had gone the color of overripe tomatoes, veins bulging like rivers on a drought-stricken map, while his mother clutched her cross necklace and murmured about prayers and fixing him. They'd tried everything short of conversion camps, locking him out of the garage to toughen up, forcing him into flannel and work boots that chafed like accusations. But the final straw came last week, when Kevin, fresh from his first community college art class, had dared to bring home a painting of two men locked in an embrace under a Chicago skyline. "This ain't no home for fairy tales," his father had snarled, ripping the canvas to shreds. And now, here he was, abandoned at the station like yesterday's trash, the joke, a twisted rite of passage they hoped would man him up or break him clean. Kevin slumped against a weathered bench, the duffel at his feet spilling socks and sketch pads like innards from a gutted fish. The platform smelled of diesel and regret, a faint drizzle starting to speckle his sneakers. He pulled out his phone. No bars, of course, because Peoria's outskirts were a black hole for signals and second chances. Who would he call anyway? His one high school friend, Jamie, had ghosted him after the coming-out rumor mill churned. His aunt in Springfield? She'd side with the family Bible thumpers every time. No, this was it. 20 years old, $5 in his pocket, and a one-way ticket to nowhere that he'd bought on a whim, dreaming of Chicago's glittery anonymity. But now, with the rain picking up and the last train's lights fading east, that dream felt like fool's gold. That's when he heard the laugh, low and rumbling, like thunder chasing the storm. A guy in his mid-20s, built like he benched presses for fun but dressed like he read Kerouac for breakfast, sauntered up from the shadows of the ticket booth. Dark hair cropped close, stubble shadowing a jaw that could cut glass, and eyes the color of worn leather, brown, warm, but sharp enough to see through bullshit. He wore a black leather jacket over a faded Ramones tee, jeans slung low on narrow hips, and carried a battered guitar case like it was an extension of his arm. "You look like someone just kicked your dog and stole your last beer," he said, voice carrying that easy Midwest drawl laced with city edge. Chicago, Kevin guessed, from the faint skyline tattoo peeking from his cuff. Kevin blinked up at him, rain streaking his cheeks like uninvited tears. "More like my parents' decided family road trip means drop off and ditch." The words tumbled out, bitter and unfiltered, surprising even himself. But the guy didn't flinch. He just dropped his guitar case with a thud and slid onto the bench, close enough that Kevin caught a whiff of sandalwood soap and something earthier, like fresh-turned soil after rain. "Parents, huh? Mine once locked me out for a week, 'cause I came home with purple hair and a safety pin through my ear. Said it was for my own good." The stranger extended a hand, calloused from strings or streets, maybe both. "Alex, and you?" Punchline of the night. "Kevin." The handshake lingered a second too long, Alex's grip firm but not crushing, thumb brushing Kevin's knuckles in a way that sent a spark up his arm. Electric, forbidden. Kevin yanked back, heat flooding his face. God, not now. Not when he was unraveling like cheap thread. Alex didn't push. Instead, he fished a crumpled pack of smokes from his jacket, offering one. Kevin shook his head, never touched the things, but watched as Alex lit up, the flame illuminating the faint scar above his lip, a story etched in flesh. So what's the real deal? They leave you here to find yourself, or just cause you wouldn't play linebacker? Kevin's laugh cracked like thin ice. Close. I'm not man enough, apparently. Too artsy. Too. He trailed off, the word gaze sticking in his throat like a bone. But Alex's eyes held no judgment, just a quiet knowing that made Kevin's chest ache with the weight of being seen. To you. Alex exhaled smoke toward the tracks, watching it curl like ghosts. Man, I've been there. Small-town purgatory, where being queer is like waving a red flag at a bull with a Bible. But here's the thing. This ain't the end of the line. It's the goddamn starting gate. He stubbed out the cig, standing with a grace that belied his height. Train's gone, but my ride's not. Got a beat-up Chevy out back, heading to Cheetown. Room for one more lost soul. Kevin's pulse hammered. Stranger danger screamed in his head, but so did the void of the bench, the rain turning to sheets. What did he have to lose? Everything, already gone. Yeah, he whispered, grabbing his bag. Let's blow this popcorn stand. The drive east on I-74 was a blur of wet asphalt and neon truck stop signs. Alex's old cassette deck blasting Springsteen. Thunder Road, ironic as hell, while Kevin stared out at fields blurring into suburbs. They talked in fits and starts. Alex, a busker and barista scraping by in Wicker Park, chasing gigs and ghosts of his own. A deadbeat dad who'd split when he was 12. A mom who'd OD'd on pills when he came out at 16. Foster system's a joke, Alex said, knuckles white on the wheel. Bounced around till I aged out. Learned quick. Love's a hustle, but worth the con. Kevin spilled too, the words loosening like knots under Alex's steady gaze. The sketches his dad burned. The crushes he buried. The way his mom's hugs had turned to side eyes. By the time Chicago's skyline pierced the dawn haze, jagged teeth of glass and steel, Kevin felt lighter, like the city was exhaling possibility into his lungs. Alex's apartment was a third-floor walk-up in a brick building that smelled of garlic and weed, walls papered in band posters and Polaroids of strangers laughing under streetlights. Crash here, Alex said, tossing Kevin a threadbare quilt. Couch is yours till you figure shit out. No strings, no smirks, just that leather-warm smile that made Kevin's stomach flip like a bad dive. The first week was survival mode. Kevin job hunting at cafes, sketching passers-by in Grant Park while Alex strummed covers at open mics. Evenings blurred into shared beers on the fire escape, feet dangling over the alley, stories weaving tighter than the city fog. Alex's laugh was a hook, pulling Kevin from the dark. His touch, casual brushes of shoulders, a hand steadying on his back, ignited something Kevin had only dreamed of. One night, after 2 mini IPAs and a playlist of the national crooning heartbreak anthems, Alex leaned in during a lull, breath minty and close. You're not a joke, Kev. You're the plot twist. Their first kiss tasted like rain and rebellion, slow and searing against the fire escape rail, Chicago's pulse thrumming below like approval. Kevin melted into it, hands fisting Alex's shirt, the world narrowing to the scrape of stubble and the soft hitch in Alex's breath. It was messy, real, fingers tangling in hair, hips pressing urgent, the quilt forgotten on the couch as they tumbled inside. Alex was gentle fire, mapping Kevin's skin with lips and whispers, beautiful, mine, while Kevin learned the language of want, arching and gasping under hands that knew forgiveness. But dawn brought the afterglow's edge. Kevin woke to Alex's guitar humming from the kitchen, coffee brewing strong as regret. We good? Alex asked, sliding a mug over, eyes searching. Better than good, Kevin murmured, tracing the tattoo on Alex's forearm, a compass rose, inked in faded blue. But doubt not, was this pity? A rebound for the abandoned kid? He pushed it down, diving into the rhythm of their life. Mornings tangled in sheets that smelled of them. Afternoons wandering Lincoln Park hand in hand, ignoring the stares from tourists who mistook their ease for threat. Weeks turned to months, the city molding them like clay. Kevin landed a gig at a queer bookstore in Boys Town, shelving Audre Lorde beside James Baldwin, his sketches evolving from hidden shame to bold exhibits at local cafes. Alex booked a residency at a dive bar, his originals, raw ballads of lost boys and found homes, drawing crowds that hung on every chord. They built a rhythm, grocery runs to Jewel Osco, brunches at and Sather for cinnamon rolls sticky as promises, Nights where love was a verb, slow, then fierce, bodies speaking what words fumbled. Yet the past lingered like smog. Letters from Peoria arrived, unopened. His mother scrawled pleas for forgiveness. His father's curt, "Come home, son. We were wrong." Kevin burned them in the sink, flames dancing like accusations. "They're playing you," Alex said one night. Pulling him close after a nightmare jerked Kevin awake, sweat-soaked and shaking. Don't let him rewrite your ending. But endings have a way of sneaking up. It started with a gig, Alex's biggest yet, opening for an indie folk act at Shuba's Tavern. Kevin swelled with pride, front row, sketching Alex mid-chorus, the spotlight gilding his sweat. Backstage after, amid backslaps and free drinks, Kevin caught a glimpse. Alex in a corner booth, head bent close to a guy. Tall, polished, with a trust fund smile and a hand lingering too long on Alex's thigh. Laughter, intimate. A kiss? No, just a peck on the cheek. But the ease, the history in their eyes, gutted Kevin like a dull blade. "Who's that?" Kevin asked later, voice steady as he could manage. The walk home a minefield of unspoken barbs. Alex shrugged, lighting a post-show smoke. "Old flame. Marcus. We dated back in community college, before I got my shit together. Harmless catch-up." But it wasn't. Marcus started showing accidental run-ins at the bar, invites to jam sessions that stretched into dawn. Alex swore it was nothing. Just music, babe. But Kevin saw the shift. Late nights, secretive texts, the way Alex's gaze drifted when they made love, like he was chasing echoes. Doubt festered, twisting into fear. Was Kevin just the stray Alex pitted? The soft boy from the sticks, not man enough for the city's sharp edges? The betrayal cracked open on a rainy Tuesday. Kevin home early from a slow shift, the apartment thick with the scent of takeout lo mein and something sharper, betrayal's aftershave. He found them in the bedroom. Alex and Marcus, shirts off, tangled on the bed that Kevin had claimed as sanctuary. Not fucking. Yet, but close. Marcus's hand cupping Alex's jaw, lips brushing in a kiss that shattered the air. "Kev." Alex started, jerking back. But the word died as Kevin's duffel hit the floor again, this time packed with sketches and shattered trust. "You said it was nothing." Kevin's voice broke, raw as exposed wire. Rain lashed the window like judgment. "Am I the joke again?" The pit stopped till something better rolls in. Alex lunged up, pants hastily zipped, eyes wide with panic. "No, God, no." Marcus showed up. "We talked. One thing led. Shit, I'm sorry. It was stupid. You're everything." But words were ash now. Kevin bolted, down the stairs into the downpour, Chicago's streets swallowing him whole. He wandered for hours, Wrigleyville's empty bleachers, the bean reflecting his warped face like a funhouse lie, until exhaustion dropped him on a bench in Washington Square Park. Dawn crept in, gray and unforgiving, his phone buzzing with Alex's texts. "Please, come home. I fucked up. I love you." Love, the word that had rebuilt him, now rubble. But as pigeons scattered at his feet, Kevin thought of the station, of Alex's hand, steady in the rain. Was betrayal the end, or just another hook? He didn't go back right away. Days blurred into a crash at the bookstore owner's couch. Shifts turning mechanical, sketches turning dark, jagged lines of broken compasses, boys with eyes like voids. Alex showed up once, flowers wilted in his fist, voice hoarse. "I ended it. For good. Marcus was escape, not you. Let me fix this." Kevin slammed the door, heart a war zone. But the pull was tidal. A week later, Kevin found himself at Shuba's, incognito in the crowd, watching Alex pour regret into a new song. "Station boy," lyrics aching with abandonment's echo. "Left me in the dark, but you lit the track / thought I was the joke, but you're the heart attack." The crowd wept. Kevin did too, silent and soaked. Backstage, confrontation brewed like storm clouds. "Why?" Kevin demanded, cornering Alex amid cables and amps. "After everything. The station, the fire escape. Why him?" Alex's face crumpled, that scar twisting with pain. "Fear. Thought you'd wake up. See, I'm just a hustler with a guitar. Not worth the fairy tale." Marcus was easy, familiar bullshit. But you? You're the real deal, Kev. Scary as hell. They fought then, words like fists. Kevin hurling accusations of pity love, Alex confessing the voids he hid, the foster scars that made trust a loaded gun. Punches pulled, but truths landed. Kevin's terror of not being enough, Alex's dread of losing the one who saw his soft underbelly. It peaked in the green room, voices echoing off Cinderblock, until Alex grabbed Kevin's face, gentle, desperate, and kissed him like absolution, salt, and need mingling. "I'm done running," Alex whispered against his lips. "But you gotta choose too. Us, or the ghosts." Kevin chose. Not easy. Therapy sessions in Alex's cramped living room. Letters finally answered to Peoria. A stiff, "We're trying," son from dad. A tear-streaked, "I was wrong" from mom. But choice bred growth. Kevin's first gallery show, portraits of queer survivors. Alex dedicating albums to the boy who stayed. Betrayal scarred, but it honed. Taught them forgiveness wasn't forgetting, but building atop the ruins. One crisp October eve, 2 years post-station, they stood on that same Peoria platform, Kevin's hand in Alex's, duffel swapped for a suitcase of canvases. His parents waited awkwardly by the tracks, dad's flannel starched stiff, mom's eyes red-rimmed. No hugs at first, just words, halting. "We were scared of losing you two. Us." Dad's voice cracked. "Proud now, son. Man enough for worlds." Kevin forgave, not for them, but for the boy left in the rain. As the train hummed in, Chicago-bound, their future, he leaned into Alex, the city's lights beckoning like old friends. Love wasn't a joke. It was the encore, raw and roaring, proving you could be soft and unbreakable all at once. In the end, the station wasn't abandonment's grave. It was rebirth's rail, carrying Kevin not away, but home.